So let's start at the beginning so that we can get the audience up to speed on exactly how this unfolded. So Kenny, as I understand it, you were a referee with the NBA for 35 years.
Well, it would have been about 37 now, Megyn, but you're right. You're right on.
Wow. So you had a good relationship. I imagine, I don't really know much about professional sports, but my team tells me you were one of the refs everybody knows. Like you became sort of a celebrity. People know you, you're beloved. And had you gotten along with the people inside the organization? Everything was fine?
Well, up until recently, I think so. I mean, again, you have your ups and downs when you've been doing it, almost 40 years, but I've always had great respect for the NBA. I love the game of basketball. I love the profession I'm in or have been in. A lot of the people I worked with were great people, coaches, GMs, players, there's good and bad with every aspect of every profession, but I really enjoyed it. And just made me wonder, Megyn, how much didn't I know? What, was I naive in my almost 40 years? Was a lot of what I'm thinking and feeling now, was it in front of me and I just never noticed it? I don't know. There's so much that's gone around in my head over the last year and a half that I just, I'll never accept it. But I mean, I just don't think it has to be. And I'm still trying to figure out in my head just what's precipitating. Why is the NBA doing what they're doing? Is they say they're a company of equality and a company of Black Lives Matter and social justice and fair play and freedom of speech and all that. And well, let's just say I'm questioning all of that now, because I believe freedom to be able to preach or be able to take part in whatever religion you want. I don't care if you're Presbyterian, Baptist, Muslim, Hindu. It doesn't make any Jewish. I respect all types of religions, and I believe that everybody should be allowed to take part in their own religion. And so I'm wondering just why the NBA is doing what they're doing, Megyn. And it's
I understand that. I've said it for a while now. I said on the show last week, as somebody who was also canceled, I do believe that cancel culture, though it's painful to go through, has a way of separating people from organizations that they ought to be separated from. Like it wasn't meant to be, and their colors are exposed, and you start to understand the kind of people that you were working with. So there is that somewhat silver lining. But you raise an interesting point right there when you talk about how, okay, so you can put Black Lives Matter on your jersey, and you can put it on the court, and you can go out there and you can virtue signal all you want. But when it comes to asserting a religious belief, you have to be subjected to the Inquisition. You've got to sit in front of people who don't even share your religion and try to persuade them that you're a true believer. I swear, I'm a real Catholic. I really do object to abortion. It affects my feelings about these vaccines. The absurdity of them making you prove it. Just how good a Catholic are you? How deep does your objection run? There's something indignant about it. It's deeply offensive that they make you jump through those hoops to try to get an exemption.
Well, you're right. I'll have Jason weigh in too. It's first of all, it's something that should be. It's very private. Your religion is very private. My wife and I were talking the other day. I shouldn't have to explain why I've been a Christian and a Catholic since I was baptized 60 some years ago. I shouldn't have to explain that. And right. I don't get mad very often anymore. I mean, like I said, I have good friends like Jason and Mark and our attorney and a lot of other people there's many people, Megyn, that feel the way we do. There's millions of people that feel the way we do. They just don't have they aren't lucky enough to be, on a platform like you're giving us right now. And so, but it's a private thing. How dare they? I don't have to explain my religion to anybody. I don't have to. But yet they think they can interview us for 30 minutes and then and it was a Jewish lawyer that interviewed me. I mean,
they didn't give you like a Christian person who knows the faith. Yeah, right. The absurdity, like down the line. So we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, because let me take a step back so the audience knows how we got to the point where you're talking about exemptions. So both of you objected to the vaccine mandate. And just to be clear, Jason, the COVID hit spring of 2020. Then we go into the 2020 to 2021 season. And we didn't even have the vaccine for the first part of that season. So that year, what was happening on the courts? Was there any sort of, there couldn't have been a vaccine mandate for most of that?
No, Megyn. So, I'm a little bit different from Kenny, as you stated just a moment ago. In the fall of 2019, I actually retired from refereeing on the court after Game 5 of the finals in 2019 in June. And then later that year, took over the day-to-day operations of the replay center based in New Jersey, right there in Secaucus. And yeah, so we started the 2019-2020 season. Then, as everyone knows, in March of 2020, the league shut down because there was a positive test. And, that's kind of when everything started shutting down, right? So we shut down for a couple of months. We came back in the bubble down in Florida in July. And yes, for the rest of that season, everybody else, for the most part, as far as I know, for the NBA, worked from home. You had the games going on down in the bubble. But as for me and my team, we had to go into the office every day because of the technology that was involved to get replay access still for these games. We had to go in. And so, as you stated, this was pre-vaccine, and we were testing every 4 days, I believe it was. You had to test every 4 days. We would come into the office early in an isolated room. They would tickle my brain. I'd go back in the room, wait for about 45 minutes for the result, and then they would either send you home if you tested positive, or they would allow you to go into work. And so, Megyn, for 2 seasons, both the 2021, or excuse me, the 1920 and the 2021 season, that was sufficient. And then at the end of the 2021 season, the 2021 season that ended in July of 2021, we were made aware, basically via email, that if you were not vaccinated by, I believe the date was September 13th or September 15th of that year, you were no longer going to be allowed in the building. And that was how I became aware of it. And that is what led me, my wife and I became very prayerful about it. We have been prayerful about it, about COVID in general, from the time that it hit. Megyn, as you know very well, kind of being at the epicenter of COVID, being in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff going on, right? And so we were praying for the health and safety of our friends, of our family, of everyone. And then when this mandate came out, of course, we became very prayerful of that. And we're just led to believe through our prayer and our readings that was not the right thing to do. And that's what led me to submitting my religious exemption request.
There is so much to love about fall, from the cooler temperatures to the changing leaves, pumpkin spiced everything. What better way to soak up the best of this season than with a Michael Phelps swim spa by Master Spas? A Michael Phelps swim spa combines the benefits of a pool with the therapy of a hot tub. It comes in a variety of sizes to complement almost any yard, even if it's a small one. Master Spas worked with Michael Phelps to develop an at-home training and fitness solution that you can use year-round in any season, even in the winter, believe it or not. As your fall calendar fills up, a Michael Phelps swim spa is the perfect place to spend time together as a family. Michael Phelps swim spas are 100% made in the USA by Master Spas, the world's largest swim spa manufacturer. It is energy efficient. You can use it all year long, as I mentioned. Go to masterspas.com, put in the promo code MK, and that will save you $1,000 on a Michael Phelps swim spa or $500 on a Master Spas hot tub. Masterspas.com, promo code MK. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.